Alright, how's everyone doing? Welcome to From Z to A, Alphabetical Interviews with Zach Andersen. I am Zach Andersen. Today we're here at Sage Sound Studios for the 50th edition of Monsters of Acoustic Rock, and I am joined by the TerribleFates.
Hello.
Hello.
So please introduce yourselves and your instruments.
Absolutely. My name is Brother Colin. I primarily play the mandolin, keyboards, and vocals.
I am Brother Michael, and I primarily play guitar and vocals.
Alright, so thank you for being on the show. I'm going to ask you the difficult questions as long as it's something to do with the letters of your band name. So we'll start with T. What is the legend of the TerribleFates? How'd you guys form? Any interesting stories beyond your origins?
I'm glad you've asked. There's actually a fully recorded tale that we've spun on our album, A Ballad of Brothers, in which we have laid out the tale of our origins on the closing track of that release. We met because we are brothers, so we've always known each other. However, Brother Colin here found me after a great siege of Castletown in Hyrule and took me on a journey into another realm. Together we found a strange old man who sent us on another quest to find a silent hero to someday bring back to our homeland that would hopefully save it from the Moblin menace. Is that basically the gist, Brother Colin?
You said it.
Alright, and tell me about your first performance together, and also tell me about your favorite performance so far.
Well, we have been performing together since a young age. And as we travel various lands, our performance names come under different names, perhaps. I would say our first performance was at the Central Connecticut Bards College.
Alright.
Yep, many moons ago.
Yes.
And as for our favorite performance,
As the TerribleFates, honestly, probably the most recent one at the cellar.
that's right, we called on Sister Therese and reenacted the Battle of the Great Hinox.
That's right.
I was there. It was quite epic.
Thank you.
Of course. And speaking of that song, you just released a collection of songs. Tell me about it.
Absolutely, that was our most all-encompassing release to date, the TerribleFates self-titled album.
Yes. It is essentially the culmination of everything we've worked on and written over the past 5 years since we entered this realm as the TerribleFates. That album, now having been finished and released, we've kind of, I wouldn't say we've closed the door on this part of our lives, but we are now opening it to even greater adventures as we embark further as the TerribleFates.
We hope that the new album really brings to life the energy and the spirit of our live performances.
Exactly.
As fully encapsulated as if we were together with our full band back in our homeland.
Indeed.
Alright. And what themes or topics do you tend to write about in your songs?
Well, as you'd expect, definitely adventure, definitely legends,
Magic.
brotherhood.
Sometimes some very specific legends that you may have heard in this realm, known as the Legend of Zelda. Zelda is, of course, our beloved princess, whom we swear allegiance to. And yes, we sing of these things that have bled into all the realms, it seems, in some way.
Absolutely. And is there anything that's essential of you to do in order to get prepared for a show?
Well, in our homeland, we might have had some different traditions that we've had to adapt to here. So we've taken a fond liking to a local business known as Kentucky Fried Chicken. I think it is.
I believe that's what it's called. It is
Yeah.
finger-licking good.
It is scrumptious.
Truly.
And we can't go on stage and perform unless we've both had our chicken sandwiches.
Indeed.
All right. That is a good choice. And what is your songwriting process? Does it tend to fall on one person? Is it a collaborative effort from the start, or will one person bring a little bit in and then the collaboration starts afterwards?
I would say that, at least with the most recent batch of songs, which we've been playing live for years now, it kind of has been a mix of things. I mean, Colin has written lyrics and music, and I've written lyrics and music separately, and then we will come together, and the songs take on a whole new life when we work on them together. And so I'd say we write them together, truly, even if we start them by ourselves, right? So a great example of this is our song, A Letter to My Brother, started as just an acoustic solo song that I wrote with just one brother's perspective.
Yeah.
And Colin took it and did something I think is so genius, and he wrote the other brother's perspective, giving it such an extra layer of depth. I mean, the song wouldn't be as great as it is, at least I think it's great, if Colin hadn't done that to the song. And that's kind of the attitude of all our music, is we each bring something really unique to the table that, I mean, the TerribleFates wouldn't be a thing if we didn't add to each other's songwriting.
Yeah.
So that's what I have to say, Colin.
Precisely. Yeah.
All right. And I like to end all my interviews with 3 interesting or random facts about yourselves that many people may not know.
Should we each do 3, or?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
After you, sir.
Oh, you said you already had some ready, but...
After you, sir.
Anyway, the first one for me, so we'll keep it Zelda related, I suppose, is I have coordinating Korok tattoos with my wife.
Oh.
Why don't you give one of yours?
Let's see. I once gave an atomic wedgie to the mayor of Castletown when I was but a child.
Brother and your tall tales. One of our first performing names was Disco. Was the before we were the Terrible
Played at
Fates.
Toad's Place.
That's right. One rousing show.
It was quite a thing.
We were too hot. They said, like, that's it. You've already peaked. Try something else.
Yeah, true. We didn't do anything for a little while after that, right?
Right.
It was
Yeah.
years.
So we journeyed on our own paths, seeking our own legends.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those journeys that greatly bonded us was to the land of Japan.
Oh.
That's another good fact. I
Yeah.
would say that seriously shaped us as songwriters and as people.
Yep.
We took a peace studies course together, back in 2012, right? And learned about the atomic bombs and how it affected the culture of Japan post-war, and it still shapes the way I think about the world and the way that I engage with it.
And it would say of all the places we've traveled, Japan specifically has the most reverence for nature and the connection with the spirit, just like back home in Hyrule.
Indeed.
Alrighty. And I'll just ask, in our realm, The Legend of Zelda is a series of video games.
Indeed.
Have you partaken in those games, or
Oh yes.
what would you say has been your favorite?
It's hard because it changes probably, but the one that sticks out in my mind has got to be A Link to the Past.
Alright,
That's probably my favorite one.
that is mine.
Nice. Yeah, I feel like it's always the one I've played the most recently. So, Tears of the Kingdom has been really phenomenal. But if it's something that's a little bit more of a throwback, Wind Waker is definitely my childhood favorite.
Yeah.
And that's the one that inspired our song, An Open Sail.
Indeed.
Alright.
Yeah. Minish Cap. That's a good one too.
Yeah. They're all good, I mean.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show. If you want to check out the TerribleFates, please visit the link below. And now, now we'll cut to performance from the TerribleFates. So thanks again. We'll see you soon.
While Colin was off at war, I was lost at sea. But I was waylaid, and I washed ashore on a strange island shrouded in mist and fog. After traveling far, finally found an old inn, a bowl of thick stew and an ale made me grin. I asked the innkeep, how can I repay?
Well, if you know gold, there's one thing you may.
And a grave look fell over his face.
On the cliffs, beyond the black bog, Otis beats his chest with a club 9 feet long. Slay the fell giant who was my son's doom. Aim for his eye, take my bow, and aim true.
And he told me to aim for the eye, aim for the eye, aim for the eye, aim for the eye. The very next morn I bid him farewell. Got it to me like I'd crossed in hell. And though it was day, fog rolled over the land, dark in this place that smelled of decay. Soon I approached the giant's domain. Thought I could hear his lumbering gait. And to my horror, through the thick clouds, a field of old bones lay strewn across the ground. So I readied the bow the old man gave to me, and knocked back an arrow and pulled back the string. And though I was blinded by the dense fog, I could hear his deep breathing. He wasn't far off. But I stepped carelessly and my foot cracked a rib. His rhythmic breath stopped, so I hid. And that's when I saw from behind that great skull the face of the hyenas, the foe I must trump. And it didn't take long, but he spotted me there. Then I screamed and stood up my hairs. His massive club came up barreling down. I leapt for my life and I fumbled around. His foot raised him over and slammed down on me. I rolled to my safety to praise the great three. For when did I roll but back to a bow? I dropped the old man's, but this one did. This one did glow. Arrows of light a skeleton held, so poor Latin green, not as lucky as I. Perhaps the man saw and this body could be. I thought as I readied the arrows to fly, fly, fly. But as the beast rushed out, turned and released, aim for his eye, and true indeed. The giant he howled, he laughed and he bled. Blinded forever, he howled and fled. And over the cliff, down into the sea, the menace was gone, this silent stream. But if corpse I did carry, but a song filled the land, a song I